right, good evening, YouTube. Here we are, JazzMiner87 from the DFS Quarry channel, coming at you live to discuss the picks for Wednesday, December 12th, 2018. Make sure here, give me a second here, and make sure that we are loaded up, ready to go here. Okay, chat seems to be working here. As you know, Joe Miner 3131, not in the screenshot. Not giving that great introduction that we like to see from him, as he's busy working on that place of his, or he's just busy in general. So I'll take the reins for tonight on a nice 4-game slate while he had to do a 10-gamer. So we'll probably hopefully look at a little screen share of what I do, and hopefully get you guys some picks out there. Yeah, tonight, fortunately for me, I'm involved in. I created just one lineup here on the main slate and ran 2 different contests. I got the Washington stack there of Ovechkin, Backstrom hitting pretty well. What's his name? Forbort from the Kings with a nice 4 points for that $2,600 price tag, and I hit on, was it Pastor? I think I played Pasternak as well, so I hit on him. I'm still waiting on Matthew Perreault here for Winnipeg. Be nice to hit there, and I think I have maybe Brian Little, and I know I got Patrick Kane in. So overall, pretty good night here for me. You know, hopefully Florida gives up a little bit more shots, but the longer it doesn't let any in, because I need some shot points here. But yeah, I got Winnipeg and Chicago on in the background, just because I got 3 players there, and kind of want to see. I think, and it's a more interesting game, as you see. And Chicago's at least brought it within 2, so maybe Kane to get that team real, and then I'll reap in some benefits. As always, like and subscribe to the page, DFS Quarry channel. Once we hit 100 subscribers, which, yeah, my goal is like 1 month from now or so, January 15th, I'd like to have it done. But, you know, we're still subscribing. I think we're up to 85 today, new subscribers. So, hey, we're moving on. And certainly the DraftKings League channel is booming as well. And you know, thanks to Raiders fan, we were a little bit nervous. That's why I created that contest right before the main slate. I didn't want it to not fill. We were at right 43, right around 30 minutes to go. And then we picked up 7 more to do it, filled it up. So that was good to see. Certainly some cash in that one there for, you know, winner getting, I think, $22 it is. So, hey, we'll take it. And, you know, trying to at least create that one that'll like be 20 people and it'll auto size just to make sure that, you know, someone doesn't play one lineup and they're busy with work, and all of a sudden, like, they're thinking, hey, I got my lineup in, and then all of a sudden the contest doesn't fill and you don't end up with any lineup. So trying to prevent that out there. But let's get started on this 4-game slate looking at for tomorrow, Wednesday, December 12th, as we inch closer to Christmas holiday. So let me turn on the old screen share here. I don't think I got any secrets out there. And we'll get started here. I'm sure everyone wants my secrets. But there isn't too many secrets here. But just some things that I use. And we've discussed this on the screen share here before. But first game on the slate we're going to talk about, we got the Vegas Golden Knights traveling over to take on the New York Islanders. Vegas, it looks like a 125 road team favorite with a 6 over and under on this game here. Before here, you know, I'll just scroll right over here. We got Vegas on the road here. Looks like they're 7-11, 2.7 goals for, 3.5 goals against. 2.7 power plays per game they're averaging. It's good enough for 12th in the league for converting those. 2.78 penalties per game there, and, you know, back half of the league they're 20th. Looking at it from the Islanders standpoint, they're 7-4-3 at home, coming off that shootout loss to the Penguins the other day. 2.9 goals for at home, 2.6 against. Looking at drawing 3.4 penalties a game, but 24th in the league rank-wise. 3.36 penalties per game, and they're 22nd in penalty kills here. So just some interesting stats there. We'll look at shots for teams here before we go over into the other side here. Islanders here, not a lot of shots here. So does that take Fleury out of potential here? 27.6. Looks like good enough for second worst in the league, and giving up 31.7 shots. Looking at the Vegas Golden Knights here. Where are they at? There they are, 32.9 goals or shots for, and 27.6 shots given up. So I'm not going to see, you take this 27.6 and correlate that with this 27.6 here. I mean, it's even up. It's going to tell you 27.6 shots for the Islanders tomorrow. So it might be a risky play here if you're looking for Fleury. I'm going here to the goals per line. Like I said, not factoring in. Looks like Vegas gives up a lot of goals to that second line players here. And also defensemen, 5 goals there defensively. The Islanders here, looks like first line is their prime. Yeah, first liners kind of destroy them. And once again, 5 on the defensive side. So kind of looking like maybe we'll get a defenseman score in here in this one. But that's what I got here on the old Excel file here. So let's go into this line stack combination. And like I said here, starting goalies, looks like nothing's confirmed yet from any of the games here. But Marc-Andre Fleury looks like he's going to start, and I would say that he is. They even played him on the back-to-back. Excuse me. No trust in Subban at all. So, and then you got Thomas Greiss here. 10-6-1 on the year, 2.57, 0.918 save percentage here. So let's go over here. If it's first line destroyers here, I'm interested in this first line. I think you're going to look William Karlsson. I think he had a goal the other night. And Riley Smith, I think, had a goal the other night. So both these guys got on the board last game. And look at the difference in price here from FanDuel to DraftKings for William Karlsson. That might mean, hey, take the savings on that. And certainly 19 minutes of ice time is a good number here for forwards. So Riley Smith, Karlsson, Marchessault is in play. I'm probably looking at a pair on this one because I don't think we're going to see some special teams action here. I really don't. You see, a couple power play points spread out in the past 5, but no interest here for me in the special teams. If you wanted to look at second lines here, I'd say Alex Tuck on this second line, only one in play. I'd like to see him shoot a little bit more. He's averaging, one point in shots per game. So not very impressive, at least on that front. And I think, certainly want to look at him in a 4-game slate. Hey, Raiders fan, how you doing tonight? Thanks for setting up that contest. And yeah, I'm kind of right with you there on the under here as well. Let's see. Like I said, defenseman here. Certainly Nate Schmidt in play here at 3,700. Look at him, 4 points in the past 5, 10 shots and 6 blocks. 3,700. I think Nate Schmidt could deserve a look here. You get going down here. I wouldn't want England. England might be a good play if you had a lot of high-priced defensemen, but since Nate Schmidt's only 500 or more, I think he's really the sensible play from a defensive standpoint. Marc-Andre Fleury price is a little bit right here for DraftKings at 7,600. But I just, like I said, cash game play, yes, because he's going to get you that 3 points if you predict that their game script that they're going to win. But from a GPP standpoint, I just don't see that he's going to get the shots. Let's go over this Islanders team here. and see what they've been doing. Islanders certainly, I'm just going to throw it out there. The other night, since I wasn't on last night, I did call this pairing here for the goal. If you recall on my diamond stack, I called Beauvillier, Barzal, and Bailey. I think they came just shy of 12 points, though. So I was a little off, but if you did play them, you got a nice, healthy, I think it was around 10 points. So they were a good play. And you, remember going back here to Vegas, 10 goals here against second liners. I think you can go right back to this Barzal, Beauvillier, and Bailey line. Just not a lot of shot production up here. I could see you one off in Anders Lee here at 5,900 just because he's getting shots. It's a little risky play to throw the first liners out because if they do bust, you're not getting shot production here. 7 shots for Everly and 6 for Nelson in the past 5. I just don't think that's going to be a wise decision here. You can even completely write off the Islanders forward situation here. It's completely an acceptable thing. Cizikas here at 2,900 on this fourth line, getting 15 minutes of ice time. I think you can look here as a cheap play as well to kind of save you some money. Defensively here, remember I said, they might see some goals here. Pulak at 4,800 would be that guy if you think that the Islanders are going to get that goal. He's posting up on the point for the power play, 11 shots, 8 blocks in the past 5, and he does have 3 points. So defensively, if you wanted that, it's certainly going to be either Scott Mayfield here or Pulak on that second line defense, also getting power play time. Greiss, I am going to look at a little bit more. I think he deserves a look because, as we said, shots for teams here. Vegas at 32 shots. The Islanders giving up 31. So I think you can anticipate it around that 31, 32 number. And, in a 4-game slate, I don't think you can rule out that goalie. But that's all I got on that one. Let's go to the next game on the slate here. We got the Pittsburgh Penguins traveling over to take the struggling Chicago Blackhawks. No line in this game, obviously, because they're playing, but I would still anticipate Pittsburgh being maybe a 140 road favorite, one maybe even identical to this 125 road favorite kind of thing. Well, Raiders fan, I didn't want to come out and say Greiss didn't get all super pumped about it because then you know I'm playing Greiss, right? So let's look at this here game here. First, we'll look at Chicago's stats at home. They're 5-6-3, and a lot of red here for Chicago. 2.6 goals for while they're on the home team, giving up an average of 3.1. They are drawing a lot of penalties here, 3.5 power plays per game, certainly converting for a league 23rd best. Disciplinary-wise, they do only take around 2.64 penalties per game here, so might not put the Penguins' power play in play as much, but we'll take a look at that. Road team here, we're going to look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, good for 10th in the league on the road. They're 6-4-4, 14 games on the road, 3.2 goals for, 2.6 goals against, and looks like we get around 3 power plays per game, converting at a league 4th best. Penalty kill on the road here. They're taking about 3 penalties per game and killing off for a league 3rd best in the league here. Shot-wise here, when we're looking, Pittsburgh taking around 32 shots and also giving up 32 shots. Chicago, once again, 32 shots that they are giving up 33.5. So I think you're going to see a lot of shots in this team, especially if we would anticipate that Penguins maybe getting out to an early lead. I think that's going to inflate shots. So goals per line here we're going to look at just to see if there's anything we can see that stands out. Really not a lot. Chicago's just giving up goals all over the place. Yeah, these look inflated, 14 and 13 shots for first line, second lines. But in reality, these numbers here, giving up 45, the only team that's remotely close is the New Jersey Devils and Ottawa Senators here. So hopefully this might be the game that the Penguins really need to kind of get out of that scoring slump, I would call it. They are putting points out there. I think they got points out of eight out of the last 10 or so, points-wise. So certainly everyone thinks they're struggling super a lot, but they are at least converting some point action here. Raiders fan, to answer your question, they will be highly owned. I think you're going to have two different types of chalk on this case, right? You're going to have those that favor Crosby tomorrow, and you're also going to have those that favor that Malkin and Pearson kind of line, maybe even Kessel. So you will have two line combinations. From a news standpoint, they said Hornquist isn't where they liked him to be. So they will, I am highly likely they're going to roll Hornquist out tomorrow. So these lines here, this is pretty interesting because watching last game, it did not always appear that way. During the game, when Brassard scored the goal against the Rangers, he was actually out with Crosby and Gensel, even strength. So he's mixing up the lines pretty well here. And I think let's go and take a look here. Let's see if I can remember whether to. I think it was was it player usage? I can't remember where I even looked at it at. Okay, line combinations here. This is where it was. And we can look at last game exactly how, and this is something that you'd want to look at and dive into, as Joe said. Let's go to the most recent game here on even strength, and we'll see how much. Yeah, Crosby, Gensel, and Kessel were out there 20% of the time. So they did run that combination a good bit. So that first line certainly in play. The second line certainly in play once again here. I do still have interest in this power play, guys. As much as the stats show they're not going to take a lot, I'm probably still heading this power play. I'm still going to probably run that Letang. I'd like to run Crosby and leave out Malkin and maybe put Gensel out there. That's a high price stack. I understand that. But we might be able to pair them up actually with a little bit of back end of Chicago here. I know Casey DeSmith certainly been well. Certainly look at these stats, 3-1-1 in the past 5, 2.16 with a .926 save percentage. Really, and certainly DeSmith's in play here. But for me, I'm going the heavy hitters. I think you could probably take a look at this third line if you want the GPP and try to use this as your one-off play. Maybe thinking of Brassard gets a goal again and keeps a streak alive, and that'll be your GPP kind of play. But that's where I'm at. The heavy guys here and the Smith. I think it's a little risky to take Malkin given his slump. But if he's ever to get out of the slump, it might be against the worst defensive team in the league. Yeah, so you're exactly right. You use left wing lock at least for this usage chart, and it can paint a different picture. Especially, these here are hard coded into the web page. And as much as the line changes to how the game's scripting, that's really where you're looking at here. Against the Chicago side here, Taves, I think, is in play. I think Kane is in play as one-offs. Kind of looking at shots where I'm going here. Sod in play for shots. These would be one-offs plays. If you wanted to play a cash game and be contrarian, I think you can maybe I wouldn't say a power play stack because, like we said, Pittsburgh's very good on the penalty kill here. So, I think it's Comp that had the goal tonight here. So maybe a Comp game combination or a Taves Sod combination. I'm leaving out Hayden. I'm leaving out Cahoon. But these guys are in play if you'd want to be contrarian. I still think that Pittsburgh keeps rolling. And I just don't think it's going to be a blowout game, to be honest. Pittsburgh really hasn't been blowing out teams this year. So I don't see that. Being that they are on the road, and that Corey Crawford is not going to be in play for me. I think he's playing now anyway. So is it going to be Cam Ward tomorrow? I think they have Corey Crawford, but I'm pretty sure Corey Crawford's playing now. So I can't really expect that they would run him on a back-to-back. But you'll have to keep seeing. Certainly check the DFS page tomorrow. We try to put out those updates when we can. And, make sure you're not playing a goalie that decides not to start. Third game up on the slate, we got the Philadelphia Flyers going over to Calgary to take on the Calgary Flames. Calgary is a 170 home favorite, over under of 6. Calgary was coming off that shutout against Edmonton the other night. But they are 5th best in the league at home ice, 10-3-2, 4.2 goals for, 3.2 goals against. Certainly drawing a lot of power play chances here at about 3.5 and converting at 5th best. Again, taking about 3 penalties a game and almost next to last in the league in penalty kill. So certainly some special team stats that stick out from the Calgary side. Let's go over here and see where we're at in Philly. They were on the road. They were near the bottom. Where are they at here? Okay, they're up to 15th here. 7-6-1 on the road, scoring. Oh, it is Cam Ward in that. Shows what I'm looking at, Raiders fan. Yeah, I haven't been paying that much attention to it. He did make an incredible save, but I got the volume turned way down, and I'm just kind of trying to see Patrick Kane score. That's all I want to see out of that game. Certainly Philly giving up 3.7 goals on the road. Their power play is quite bad. Drawing about 3 chances, but converting for a league 28th best. And 3.636 penalties per game they're taking. And once again, give the 29th best in the league here. So third from bottom on the penalty kill. So certainly looks like we're going to have some interest in the Calgary power play here. Calgary, 32.5 shots for, only giving up 28 shots. We got Philadelphia taking about 32 shots, giving up about 30 shots. So pretty balanced stats on at least shots for and shots against. But let's check it out. And Raiders, from watching us do this, you can see how annoying this is. Corey Crawford. I mean, it tells you right there. It's just, we try to operate on what we can see here. Looks like we're going to have Stolarz in net with Rittich going up against Rittich here. So let's open up these team sites, shall we? And to me personally, on first glance, this is my game stack of the night here. On a full-on kind of game stack. I don't trust Rittich to give up a few goals. And this Flyers team does have that capability to kind of light up the lamp several times in a game. So let's go to here, goals per line real fast while we're at it. You see Calgary here Wow. 8 goals for, 8 goals against here. 24 is my total in the first and second lines. Calgary, so Philly kind of giving up goals everywhere when you look at that. So this is an interesting stack play here because the price has kind of made it favorable for you. Claude Giroux here, 8 points in the past 5 games, 17 shots, 6,000 on DraftKings. Pair him up with Konechny at 4,900, and I think you got a great play. JVR, I cannot believe JVR is 3,800, but certainly his production is not there yet. When you look down here at the second line, it's Ben Voracek, 5,100 for 6 points and 17 shots here. I wouldn't mind you pairing him up with Wayne Simmons as well. Like I said, I think you can try the power play here if all needs be. Run Voracek, run Giroux. I'd want that third option, though. So if you're going to run Voracek and Giroux, I would like you to at least grab a Simmons or a Konechny off this second power play just so you can line pair and do the power play pair on that front. Defensively here, Provorov, 4,900, he's in play. Gostisbehere's just too much money, I think, at 5,100. Andrew McDonald in play, 3 assists, 10 shots, 7 blocks over the past 5 games. These are nice stats there. Travis Sanheim, 3 points, 7 shots, 4 blocks in the past 5. Interesting stats there. He might be worth a look, at least if you really need some cheap option with somewhat potential. But obviously, if he doesn't get on the board, he's got 7 shots and 4 blocks in 5 games. He's probably not going to produce you many DFS points. If you're looking at that route, you might want to say, I'll take the 12 blocks, 4 shots on Radko Gudas for a little bit extra money. But that's really where I'm at. I can't say that I have any interest here in Stellars. 2-1-1, 3.54. I think the Calgary's going to kind of score all over them, but it's going to be more like a 4-2, 5-2 type game. But there will be, I can see the Flyers goal coming, from that multi-lines. Calgary side, you can certainly see what's to like about this. Look at this first. This first line is just so pricey. They're becoming the Colorado first line, and for good reason. 2 goals, 8 assists by Gaudreau. He's in play at 7,600. 4 goals, 4 assists, 18 shots by Monahan at 7,500. He's in play. 5 goals, 3 assists, 12 shots, 2 blocks, 6,800. Lindholm. They're all 3 in play, guys. The second line here, I think you just look for the power play, honestly. You see here 2 power play points. That leaves him with 2 points in 5 games on the 5-on-5 for Tkachuk at 6,300. That's just too much pricey here. And he's really just alongside guys that aren't known to really provide that offensive oomph you might need to say. I really wish they'd probably bring up James Neal to replace Bennett and have that combination a little bit better. But that's not a conversation we need to talk about today. We've always been saying on the channel that we'd rather have Neal play a better role than a third liner. They aren't listening, and Neal's been rather stagnant all year long. Defensively here, I think they said Backlund's coming back. I thought they said Backlund's coming back. I could be wrong. Now I'm going to have to look. So they still have him down here, Mikhail Backlund here. Oh no, he got injured. That's where. Yeah, he's out. Well, no wonder that second line took a hit then. Um, and Giordano, I think is. I thought he was coming back though. He was suspended 2 games. Um, but they don't have him listed. I'm pretty sure Giordano's 2 games is up and he's going to be in play here. And he'll probably assume the role that he had before. Keep an eye out on that, guys. Because Giordano is certainly a good defensive play should he be back in net or in the defensive scheme of things. But defensively here, I'm probably looking at power plays here. Noah Hannafin getting power play time at 4,000. I have interest there. And also interest here in TJ Brody at 3,800. And that's really the extent. Like I said, if Giordano does come back, the interest peaks there for him as well. And I do have interest here in Rittich at 8,300. He's the pricey guy on your slate. But, you know, certainly at first glance, he looks like the sure 3 points for the win tomorrow. And let's head on to our last game on the slate. And I'll let you guys out of here with a nice early sleep time. And Raiders, I know it's always early when you're watching. We have the Dallas Stars going over to Anaheim to take on the Anaheim Ducks. Dallas is a 105 road favorite, 5.5 over under. And that 5.5 over under, I think, is going to be reflective of what this game is. I think it's going to be very low scoring, personally. You know, you look home team here first off. Anaheim, 9-4-5, only scoring 2.5 goals for, 2.7 against. And certainly their power play is not good at all. And their penalty kill, 12th best in the league, but they are taking about 3 1/3 penalties per game. Dallas here, 6-8-2 on the road, 2.1 goals for, 2.7 goals against. 21st power play in the league there, and 6th best penalty kill. Shot wise, we have Dallas Stars taking 29.7 shots, Anaheim taking 26.8, but giving up 35.4. Dallas giving up 31. This is almost like a keep away game for me, guys. It's a risky game. It certainly could be a rewarding game in GPP plays. But certainly Anaheim's got some news that they probably didn't want to see with Rickard Rakell being put out on injuries. And I think it's a long-term injury. So let's take a look here. Dallas, what are we seeing here on there? Okay, 11-7. There's 3. So near the bottom of what I'm tracking here. Anaheim pretty even across the board here. When you're looking at this, just, you know, because there is limited picks on the play, or limited picks in a 4-game slate. I think you can look at this first line for a pairing here. You know, the Ben Sagan Radulov. I think they've had Radulov on the second power play unit, if I recall, but now they did put him back up on the first power play. So I like that part of it. Second line here, I'm not interested really in the second line. It's just not shot production. You know, when you see prices like that, it's really just because they're not. You see how they split these guys here in the bottom 3 lines here? This is why it's hard to get off of anyone except this first line. 13 minutes here, 14 minutes here, 14 minutes here. They pretty much split evenly across these 3 lines. So it's hard to really get that, you know, rhythm here for Spezza and Devon Shore and Brett Ritchie to really get that ice time they need to make some plays happen. So for me, it's just the first line. I'll tell you what I did the other day. I played Essa Lindell and the Mira Heiskanen combination play. And I also last night played the San Jose Sharks combination play of Carlson and Burns. I'll tell you, it might be a new favorite for me because these guys hit for me that night, and then Carlson and Burns hit for me for, I want to say it was like a combination 8 points or so. So don't roll out like pairing up defensemen in a game. If you get some scoring defensemen, it is not a bad choice. And Essa Lindell with Mira Heiskanen paired up could be a play. Just to let you guys know. Heck, you can even pair up Roman Polak for those shots and blocks at 2,900 with a Lindell or Heiskanen and get you some points that way. But like I said, first line and that defense, that's really my interest there. Bishop. He's not going to see the shots. And it's hard to game script where this is a for sure win on Bishop. Actually, the goalies here are tricky plays because it does go high scoring, which I don't see it likely. You would have few shots in your goalie, and you're getting maybe 4 points from your goalie with the win, which is what happened to, I think it was Domingue yesterday against the Rangers. Great, got the win, but gave up 3 goals on, was it like 30 shots or something like that, or 25 shots or something. And Domingue ended up being a horrible goalie play, even with the win. So goalies are risky in this game. Looking at it here, Pontus Aberg. I think some even pronounce it Aberg. I listen and learn more. Andre Case or Case. These two guys are in play here for Anaheim, and Getzlaf also in play at 5,700. And you know what? You can take a shot on Sprong as well. Sprong is an interesting play. Only been at Anaheim, I think maybe 3 to 4 games worth yet so far. And he's got 10 shots already with 1 goal. And he's got the shootout goal from the other night as well. So that's the plays here looking at it. And, these are just options here. Certainly an interesting third line here could be Kessler with Jacob Silverberg also. Interesting play. No interest here in the fourth line. When you look at the defense here, certainly Hampus Lindholm and Brandon Montour are back in play defensively. And pretty much you can script John Gibson the kind of the same way you can script Ben Bishop. I might give John Gibson the benefit of the doubt just because of their home team record here, being third best in the league. Gibson is the more valuable play, or the more predictable play, should I say, in this game. Now here, my only caution to the win here is to understand, is this Rickard Rakell injury bigger than what it is? You see the list of injuries they have, which tells you why they're, probably happy to be, where are they, 9th in the league, given the state of those injuries. Yeah, Matt, I certainly agree that Sprong is getting first line time. I think really is going to be a beneficial thing for Sprong. And Raiders fan, yeah, it's really hard to game script this being a high scoring game given those stats. I think you have to at least play your DFS lineups, assuming that it is exactly what it is. Scoring 2.4 here, and Dallas scoring 2.8. That's 5.2 between the two teams, and kind of like Matt Sobo says there, 3-2 win. That's kind of where I see it heading up to as well. And shutout certainly might not be out of the realms for one of these teams, but it's just hard to really say which one. But that's the slate. 4 games. Certainly giving our brains a little rest after the Big Ten game slate we had to build for today. So let's look at this, shall we, for the game here. we got, I think this is probably where a lot of us are going to go, but my diamond stack. No homerism here. It's just what the stats are telling me here. Bold prediction. Evgeny Malkin gets a goal, gets out of that rut. Second line, Penguins for me. Tanner Pearson, Evgeny Malkin, and Riley Sheehan. And for those that are new to watching the video, if there are out there, Diamond Stack is where we try to pick a second line or worse combination here, getting 12 or more DraftKings points in a night. So that's what we're predicting for those second line Penguins. Cold night snowflake stack. Where are we going here? Snowflake. I'm going back to the first line of the New York Islanders. And that's going to be Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, and Jordan Eberle. They haven't been scoring much, and I don't think against the Marc-Andre Fleury Vegas Golden Knights is in play for them as well. And Boulder Award, what goalie do I predict for the shutout tomorrow? And that, my friends, is Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury with the shutout tomorrow. So, but let me look at that real quick there, just before we get off here, because short video, so we got a little bit of time. Sheehan, I didn't notice that. I should be noticing that more for the the fans of both sides of the FanDuel side as well. Oh wow, yeah, 3,300 for the FanDuel pick. Yeah, and the opposite can be said there from the Malkin, dirt cheap on the DraftKings side and still expensive on FanDuel. So, that's the slate, guys. Let me just give you guys here a rundown of my lineup, and we'll be off and out of here. And like I said, right at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Hopefully we'll load up here on DraftKings. Hopefully I'm winning some monies. All right, looks like I'm 6th and 3rd in my lineups, 43.8 points. And looks like Nurse Kev is leading the big 50 person. Second is BCTP. Joe Minor 31 in 3rd place with 46.7. And I'm at 43.8, like I said. So I do got some minutes left. Oh, there's Miller in the background, my dog Miller. Yeah, I really need some points out of Matheson. Peralt, Kane would be nice to get me a point, or Little. Still looking good with Luongo in that. He's up to 3.8. Some of these guys already have their win with Frederick Anderson. So there's a chance, folks. There's a chance for the JS Minor 87 to bring in a big payday, and we hope that that's the case. But hey, Raiders fan, Matt Sobo, thanks for joining in on the chat. We'll see you guys for another main slate breakdown tomorrow. Good night, and good luck to everyone tomorrow. See you next time.